If you are a man over the age of 60, I want you to take a deep breath and listen very closely to what I am about to say. If you have been feeling a heaviness in your limbs, a fog in your mind, or a silence where your drive and passion used to be, you have likely been told that this is just the way it goes. You may have visited a doctor, mentioned that your energy is low, your circulation feels poor, perhaps your hands and feet are always cold, or that your libido has vanished, only to be met with a shrug. They tell you, well, you are getting older. It's normal. I am here today, as Dr. Hassam, to tell you that normal does not mean optimal, and it certainly does not mean you have to accept it. Welcome to the Senior Health Hub. Here, we do not accept the decline of age as a prison sentence. We look at the science of vitality. And the truth is, what you are feeling, that lethargy, that disconnection from your own body, that frustration, is often not just the calendar turning a page. It is biological. Specifically, it is a silent, invisible crisis happening at the microscopic level of your cells. In my years of practice and research, focusing specifically on senior health, I have uncovered a pattern that affects the heart, the hormones, and the very spirit of men over 60. It is a deficiency in three specific powerhouse minerals. These are not obscure chemicals. They are the fundamental building blocks of male physiology. Yet, standard blood tests often miss these deficiencies, or doctors simply don't look for them. Today, we are going to change the narrative of your health. We're going to explore how a lack of these three minerals destroys blood flow, crashes testosterone, and steals your energy. But more importantly, I am going to show you how to fix it. We're going to walk through the science, the symptoms, and a practical plan to get you back to the man you know you are. But before we dive deep, I want to ask you a question, and I want you to answer it honestly in the silence of your own mind, or share it in the comments if you feel brave. When was the last time you woke up feeling truly rested, fully charged, and ready to take on the world? If you can't remember, then this video is dedicated to you. And if you are new here, please join our community. Subscribe to Dr. Hassam, Senior Health Hub. We are building a sanctuary for men who refuse to go quietly into the night. Click that notification bell so you never miss a lesson on reclaiming your health. Now, let's begin with the first pillar, the first mineral. This is the master switch for your circulation and your relaxation. Number 1, magnesium, the master of flow and calm. Let me paint a picture for you. I want to tell you about a man named Arthur. Arthur was 68. He came to me not because he was in pain, but because he was exhausted. He told me, Dr. Hassam, I'm tired all day, but when I lay down at night, I'm wired. My legs twitch, my heart flutters, and as for my romantic life, well, the equipment just doesn't seem to get the signal anymore. Arthur thought he had a heart condition. He thought he had anxiety. He thought his time as a capable man was over. Arthur didn't have a disease. Arthur was starving, not for calories, but for magnesium. Magnesium is responsible for over 300 enzymatic reactions in the human body. But for men over 60, it has two critical jobs that we cannot ignore. First, it is the guardian of your blood pressure and circulation. Think of your blood vessels like garden hoses. When you are stressed or when you age, those hoses can become stiff and narrow. This is called vasoconstriction. When the vessels are tight, the heart has to pump harder, blood pressure rises, and, crucially, blood cannot easily flow to the extremities or to the reproductive organs. Magnesium is nature's vasodilator. It relaxes the smooth muscles that line your arteries. It tells those vessels to open up, to breathe, to let the river of life, your blood, flow freely. Without sufficient magnesium, your blood vessels are in a chronic state of tension. No amount of desire or willpower can overcome a physical blockage caused by tension. If you want strong circulation, you need magnesium. The second job involves testosterone. You see, testosterone is a precious commodity. In your blood, Much of your testosterone is bound up by a protein called SHBG, sex hormone binding globulin. When testosterone is bound to SHBG, it is useless. It can't be used by your muscles or your brain. Magnesium helps lower the affinity of SHBG to testosterone. In simpler terms, it frees up your male hormones so they can actually do their job. So, why are so many of us deficient? Studies suggest that up to 80% of the elderly population is low in magnesium. Why? Because our soil is depleted. The vegetables we eat today have half the magnesium they did 50 years ago. Furthermore, as we age, our stomach acid weakens, making it harder to absorb minerals from food. And if you take medication for acid reflux or diuretics for blood pressure, you are flushing magnesium out of your body every single day. If you are experiencing muscle cramps, eye twitches, irregular heartbeats, anxiety, or that deep, unshakable fatigue, magnesium is likely your missing link. So, where do we find it? Nature provides, if we know where to look. Pumpkin seeds are little gold mines of magnesium. Spinach, Swiss chard, almonds, and dark chocolate, real dark chocolate, 70% or higher, are excellent sources. But for many men over 60, diet alone isn't enough to fill the deficit. Supplementation is often necessary. However, you must be careful. Do not go to the drugstore and buy magnesium oxide. That is essentially chalk. It is poorly absorbed and will only give you an upset stomach. You want magnesium glycinate or magnesium bisglycinate. These forms are bound to the amino acid glycine, which helps with sleep and relaxation, and they are absorbed beautifully by the body. For Arthur, the man I mentioned earlier, we started him on a regimen of magnesium bisglycinate. Within 3 weeks, the leg cramps stopped. Within 6 weeks, his energy stabilized. And slowly, as his circulation improved, he found that connection with his wife began to return. He wasn't broken. He just needed the raw materials to function. But magnesium is only the first step. It opens the roads, but we need something to drive the car. We need the spark. That brings us to our second mineral. Number 2, zinc, the architect of masculinity. If magnesium is the relaxation and the flow, zinc is the structure and the drive. I want to speak very candidly with you now. There is a silent epidemic among men over 60, and it is the decline of testosterone. We treat it as inevitable, but the rate of decline is often accelerated by a lack of zinc. I remember meeting a patient named Thomas. Thomas was a former engineer, a man used to solving problems. But he couldn't solve this one. He sat in my office, looking at his hands, and said, "I feel like I'm fading. My sense of taste is gone. Food is boring. I catch every cold that goes around. And I have zero drive. It's like the fire has gone out." We ran his panels. His testosterone was low, yes, but his zinc levels were near the floor. Zinc is absolutely non-negotiable for male health. It is concentrated highly in the prostate gland. In fact, a man loses a significant amount of zinc in every seminal emission. If you do not replenish it, you run dry. Zinc does 3 profound things for the aging male body. First, it is essential for the production of testosterone. Without zinc, the Leydig cells in your testes cannot receive the signal from the brain to produce hormones. It is the key that turns the engine on. Second, zinc acts as an aromatase inhibitor. This is a bit of medical jargon, but it is vital you understand it. Aromatase is an enzyme that takes your hard-earned testosterone and converts it into estrogen, the female hormone. As men age, and especially if we carry a little extra belly fat, aromatase activity increases. This is why some older men develop breast tissue or become overly emotional. Zinc naturally blocks this process. It protects your testosterone from being stolen and converted. Third, zinc is the guardian of your prostate and your immune system. If you find yourself getting sick often, or if you have noticed your prostate health declining, zinc is the first line of defense. Why was Thomas so deficient? Because zinc is hard to get and easy to lose. Alcohol is a major thief of zinc. High stress causes us to excrete zinc, and a diet high in processed grains contains phytates, which bind to zinc in the gut and prevent it from getting into your blood. When we corrected Thomas's zinc levels, the change wasn't overnight, but it was profound. First, his sense of taste returned. He started enjoying meals again. Then, his energy lifted. And finally, that faded feeling was replaced by a sense of solidity. He felt like a man again. The best sources of zinc? You may have heard of oysters. They are the king of zinc. But red meat, specifically beef and lamb, are excellent. Pumpkin seeds, which we mentioned for magnesium, also carry a good dose of zinc. If you choose to supplement, look for zinc picolinate or zinc methionine. These forms get into the cells where they are needed. But a word of caution from Dr. Hassam: zinc requires balance. You do not need massive doses. 15 to 30 milligrams a day is usually sufficient. More is not always better. So, we have magnesium for flow. We have zinc for drive and hormones. But there is a third piece of the puzzle, a mineral that is almost entirely ignored by the mainstream. Yet it controls the very energy that powers your cells. Number 3, chromium, the metabolic gatekeeper. Before we reveal this final key, I want to take a moment. If you are still listening, if you are still with me on this journey, I want you to acknowledge yourself. It takes courage to learn about your health. It takes courage to admit things aren't working. If you are finding value in this, please type "health is wealth" in the comments below. Let me see who is committed to their vitality. Now let's talk about chromium. I want to discuss a patient named Samuel. Samuel was 70. He was carrying about 20 pounds of extra weight around his midsection that he just couldn't lose. He would eat a meal and immediately feel sleepy. He described it as a brain fog that would descend upon him every afternoon. He had high blood pressure, and his blood sugar was creeping into the pre-diabetic range. He felt sluggish, heavy, and slow. Samuel didn't just have a weight problem. He had an insulin problem. And at the root of that was a chromium deficiency. Chromium is a trace mineral, meaning we need it in small amounts. But its impact is massive. It works directly with insulin. Think of insulin as a doorman. Its job is to knock on the doors of your cells and say, "Open up, I have energy, glucose, for you." When you are young, the doors open easily. Energy goes in, you feel great, and blood sugar stays stable. As we age, those doors get rusty. The doorman knocks, but the cell doesn't answer. This is called insulin resistance. When the cell doesn't open, two terrible things happen. The energy stays in your blood as high sugar, damaging your nerves and blood vessels, killing your circulation. The cell starves. You feel tired, weak, and lethargic because the fuel isn't getting into the engine. Chromium is the lubricant for that lock. It is part of a molecule literally called the glucose tolerance factor. It helps insulin open the door. For men over 60, this is critical because insulin resistance is a primary cause of erectile dysfunction. If your small blood vessels are damaged by high sugar, no amount of supplements will help. You need to fix the metabolic engine. Chromium helps stabilize your blood sugar, which protects your nerves, protects your blood vessels, and keeps your energy steady throughout the day. When Samuel started focusing on chromium, the afternoon crashes stopped. He began to lose that stubborn belly fat because his body was finally burning sugar for fuel instead of storing it as fat. And as his blood sugar normalized, his circulation improved dramatically. Chromium is found in brewer's yeast, broccoli, green beans, and grass-fed beef. But our modern processing of food strips almost 90% of the chromium out. This is why supplementation with chromium picolinate is often recommended for older men dealing with metabolic slowdown. Now, my friends, we have identified the three heroes: magnesium, zinc, and chromium. But you can pour all the water you want into a bucket, but if there are holes in the bottom, it will never fill up. You might be taking supplements. You might be eating well. But if you are unknowingly engaging in habits that strip these minerals from your body, you are spinning your wheels. We need to patch the holes. Let's identify the mineral thieves that target men over 60. Number 1. Refined sugar and high fructose corn syrup. This is the biggest villain. Every time you eat a high-sugar dessert or drink a soda, your body has to mobilize magnesium and chromium to process that sugar. You are literally spending your mineral savings to pay off a sugar debt. The more sugar you eat, the more minerals you lose in your urine. It is a vicious cycle. Number 2, chronic stress. When you are stressed, your body produces cortisol. Cortisol is a survival hormone. It tells your body to dump minerals because it thinks you are in a fight for your life situation. If you are constantly worried, anxious, or angry, you are depleting your zinc and magnesium reserves rapidly. Finding calm isn't just about feeling good. It's about saving your biochemistry. Number 3, alcohol. I know many men enjoy a drink to unwind, but alcohol damages the lining of the gut, preventing absorption of nutrients. It acts as a diuretic, flushing zinc and magnesium out of the kidneys. If you are struggling with low T or low energy, alcohol is an anchor holding you back. Number 4, antacids and PPIs. Many men over 60 suffer from heartburn, but acid-blocking drugs reduce stomach acid. You need stomach acid to break down minerals so they can be absorbed. If you reduce the acid, you reduce the absorption. It's a trade-off you need to discuss with your doctor, but being aware of it is the first step. So what do we do? How do we put this all together? I don't want to leave you with just theory. I want to give you a roadmap. I have developed a simple 7-day nutritional framework designed to maximize these 3 minerals. This is not a crash diet. This is a restoration plan. Flood the body with magnesium, zinc, and chromium while eliminating the thieves. Start your day with a large glass of water with a squeeze of lemon. This preps your stomach acid. For breakfast, we step away from the toast and cereal. We go for eggs and spinach. The eggs provide the healthy fats and protein. The spinach is your magnesium injection. If you like, add a side of avocado. This stabilizes your blood sugar right from the start, sparing your chromium. For a snack, I want you to have a mineral mix. A small handful of pumpkin seeds and Brazil nuts. Pumpkin seeds for zinc and magnesium. Brazil nuts for selenium, which supports the zinc. It's nature's multivitamin. Focus on high-quality protein. A piece of salmon or a chicken breast, accompanied by broccoli or green beans. Remember, broccoli is a chromium source. We are building the meal around the minerals. Lean beef or lamb for the zinc, with a side of quinoa or roasted sweet potato. We avoid the heavy white pastas and white rice that spike insulin. This is crucial. No heavy snacking before bed. But if you need something, a small square of dark chocolate, 85% cocoa, is acceptable. Then, 30 minutes before sleep, take your magnesium bisglycinate supplement. This signals to the body. It is time to rest. It is time to repair. The supplement strategy, consult your doctor first. Magnesium bisglycinate, 200 to 400 milligrams in the evening. Zinc picolinate, 15 to 30 milligrams with food, never on an empty stomach, or it will make you nauseous. Chromium picolinate, 200 micrograms with your largest meal to help insulin. Try this for 7 days. Just 1 week. Cut the sugar, cut the alcohol, and flood your body with these nutrients. I promise you, the difference will not be subtle. You will notice it in the quality of your sleep first, then the stability of your mood, and finally, the return of that morning energy and drive. As we come to the end of this video, I want to speak to you not as a medical author, but as a fellow traveler on this path. I know how easy it is to feel invisible as we age. The world seems to celebrate youth and speed, and it often overlooks the wisdom and strength of the senior man. But I believe that your 60s, 70s, and beyond can be the most powerful years of your life. But you cannot live those years to the fullest if your vehicle, your body, is breaking down due to lack of maintenance. These minerals, magnesium, zinc, chromium, they are the oil, the spark plugs, and the fuel for your engine. You have spent decades working hard, caring for others, building a life. Now, it is time to invest back into yourself. Do not let shame or resignation stop you. If you are suffering from low libido, it is not a character flaw. It is chemistry. If you are tired, it is not laziness. It is biology. And biology can be changed. I want you to try this protocol. I want you to take charge of what goes into your body. And I want you to observe the changes with curiosity and compassion for yourself. You are not finished. You are just getting ready for the next chapter. If this video has been helpful to you, please do me a favor. Share it with a friend. Share it with a brother. Share it with someone who needs to hear that there is hope. We are building a community here at the Senior Health Hub. I read your comments. I listened to your stories, and I am constantly researching to bring you the best actionable health advice. If you have questions, leave them below. I want to hear it all. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. It helps this message reach more men who are searching for answers. Thank you for giving me your time today. Thank you for caring enough about yourself to watch this. Until next time, prioritize your health, nourish your body, and remember, vitality has no expiration date. Stay strong.